Jaguars Colts next game. Now this game has playoff leverage on both sides, but less so with the Colts. The Colts, I believe, need 2 wins and the Texans to lose out. That's the scenario, right? They're playing the Texans next week, aren't they? Are the Colts not playing the Texans next week? Yes, the Colts are playing the Texans.
They are.
Yes, Colts next week.
So in theory, wait a second. Am I wrong
They're
about this?
They're not beating the Jaguars and the Texans.
Okay, but you're right. Whether or not, but I didn't even think about this. Whether or not this is realistic is a different story. But if they beat the Jaguars and the Texans lose to the Chargers, which could happen, is that win or go home? Is that win or go home next week?
I'm going through it.
It is.
I'm going through it right now.
Yeah, plug that into the play. Meisty, what did you run through this? I didn't even think about this because Old Man Rivers is out. I mean, it played pretty well last week. What?
Have Texans losing out and Colts winning out, and somehow Texans still are, or Colts aren't making the playoffs. So I need to check what's going on.
I think the Texans are clinched.
No, I don't think so.
No, they're not. No.
Colts have a Wait, here's what needs to happen.
You're right.
Need to beat Jacksonville and Houston.
1 of 2.
The Chargers need to beat the Texans. And then also they need strength of victory. So because of strength of victory, because they'll have the same exact thing on head-to-head division, common record, and conference record with the Texans. So then they also need the Broncos to beat the Chiefs, the Packers to beat the Ravens, the Dolphins to beat the Bucks, the Eagles to beat the Bills, the Bears to beat the Niners, and the Falcons to beat the Rams. So they need all of that.
Wait. That's what they need, like some crazy thing, like
it's not.
So it's not simple. Meaning, but could there be a way that going into Week 18 that's win or go home? That's what I want to know.
At least one of those outcomes need to happen, and they need to beat the Jaguars, and the Texans need to lose to the Chargers.
So if the
all
Texans,
those games I listed, not all of them have to happen, but at least one. So I was wrong. I thought it was all of them. But
okay,
at
fine.
least one. Then I think it could be.
So if the Colts beat the Jaguars this week and then the Texans lose, that is winner, and one of those other things happen, then it's automatically win or go home next week against the Texans.
I think so.
See, I didn't even, when I was breaking this down in Week 18, I didn't even think about this because Phillip Rivers, I just didn't, But by the way, played pretty well against the Niners. Now, okay, the Niners again. Talk about injuries. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa have both been injured the entire season, and the starting defensive tackle's been out most of the year as well. So they've had a bunch of injuries. But so Phillip Rivers, listen, against the Seahawks, I didn't actually think he played that well, but I guess good enough to keep him in the game. And Darnold has kept them in the game as well. But he actually played well last week. Like, I was actually quite impressed. He dropped back 37 times and slinged the ball over the field. Like, he threw a couple nice passes down the field. Him and Alec Pierce had a connection going. They had a nice touchdown in the middle of the field, nice corner route on third down. Like, I was actually pretty impressed with him. I didn't think we were going to see that. His form looks off. Everything, he's like pushing the ball.
Oh my gosh.
It looks he's
crazy.
He's an oversized individual. Obviously has not been taking care of his body to the extent that he was when he was in the NFL. That's clear. But by the way, he admitted that. This is not something I'm saying. He said that. Yeah. He's been letting loose a little bit. So listen, and by the way,
I just love how you put that. That was so funny.
He's a Zadie. He's a grandfather, and he's got 10 kids, and he plays football with his kids. And by the, what I was thinking? The Rivers family have a built-in football team. 11. A built-in football team. Meisty, can you imagine wherever you go? Just bring your cousin who also has 11, and then boom, you got 11 on 11.
Oh, dude. Free football game. That's awesome.
That's crazy. That must be fun anyway. I don't even know why Rivers wanted it. Why did he want to come back to the NFL? Go out there and play 11 on 11 with your... Anyway. So, yeah, I think that...
He needed the health insurance.
That's the real right. That's the real reason.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at here is that Colts okay, let's say we have Colts Texans next week. Win or go home. Let's say we have Bucks Panthers win or go home, and we have Rams Niners Seahawks win or get the number 1 seed, which also is a very big possibility. What does the NFL do?
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Nobody cares about Colts Texans. That's not, you can't.
So you're saying that's 4:30 Saturday?
Yes, that's a good call. That's what they do. Is make it interesting. Only if the other games in the final week don't matter, because I'm going through the playoff machine. And I was changing those games, the ones that I listed with all those other games, and I had the Colts winning both games and the Texans losing both games, and it still is putting the Texans in. So Either the playoff machine is wrong or this article is wrong.
I'm seeing otherwise. I'm seeing that if the Colts win this week, Texans lose, and then the Colts win next week, they're in.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And my playoff machine is not showing me
interesting.
the Colts being in as the 7th seed, so I don't know what's up.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't go through that scenario, but anyway, there is a possibility that might exist. And then if you have Ravens Steelers somehow on top of that, this is just going to be a mess next week in a good way. And by the way, not only that, this is another thing I pointed out is that if the Texans do lose and the Chargers win, you could set up a win and get the number 1 seed in the AFC next week if the Jaguars lose. And that scenario would happen because the Colts beat the right. So like there could be some crazy right, and the Patriots have to lose to the Jets. That's a whole different story. But I'm just saying, in theory, you could have some absolute wild scheduling stuff next week if everything falls into place, which generally speaking, this is late in the NFL. You have more clinches, more this. The only one division is clinched, I think, in the entire league. The Eagles are the only one, I believe. So there's a lot yet to be decided. But anyway, I think this is going to be an interesting game. I don't think the Colts are quite going to be able to. The Jaguars are playing good football. Listen,
I don't think they'll even be able to. Yeah, I don't think they'll even be able to beat them.
Right. No, ultimately I agree. It's probably a moot conversation, but listen, Rivers played pretty well. The Colts do have a competitive defense. They do have playmakers. I've discussed this all year, but the thing about the Jaguars that gets me is like they kept their heads above water for most of the season without Trevor Lawrence playing at a high level. These last 3 weeks, him and Jacoby Myers have really developed a connection there. Like he's been playing well. He's been playing up to his number 1 overall pick potential. So with that being said, 6.5. I am going to go ahead and pick the Jaguars to cover. What do you think, Yehuda?
Yeah, I got to take Jaguars to win and cover, so win by 7 to 10 points. Jacksonville and weighted DVOA, which is like tracking more of the recent, throwing out some of their earlier, like you said, Rocky, the great stretch. Trevor's playing like number 1 overall pick, and defense is solid, taking away, getting and stuff. All that stuff with the small market stuff. I think Sean Payton said that as a compliment to him when they took it as an insult. But Jacksonville's on still, I think, has like a small path at the 1 seed, so they're still going to be fighting hard. They're going to be fighting their division. Indy can't beat them in Jacksonville, but you know they have a little bit more success against Jacksonville in Indy, but it's still old man Rivers out there, and Colts defense could not stop anybody last week on Monday night. They were just letting Purdy go up and down the field on them, and I don't know that Liam Cohen is a very good offensive coach. I don't know that he's as good as Kyle Shanahan for scheming and everything, but Trevor Lawrence is playing well enough that Jags should be able to win this game and cover 6.5, 7.
Yeah, I mean, Jags have a shot at the 1 seed. We're this is a good team, and I mean, he can win. Liam Cohen, it's a long shot, but there's coach of the year. If he gets that 1 seed somehow, so I think they're playing for a lot here. They're in the playoffs, so they're not worried much more than that. But I think that the Jags win and cover here as well.